You know you have more to offer than what has been showing up in your life. That is not arrogance, it is accurate perception. You are someone with genuine depth, real presence, actual magnetism when you allow yourself to fully inhabit it. You have things to give in love and in connection that most people never encounter in a lifetime of looking. And yet the specific people, the specific caliber of connection, the specific quality of being seen and met and responded to at the level you actually operate, that has been arriving inconsistently. Not never, but not with the regularity that matches what you are actually putting out. There is a specific, quiet frustration that lives inside being someone worth knowing who watches what they are worth go largely unmatched. Not dramatically, you are not someone who collapses under the weight of it, but you notice. In the moments when a connection that could have been significant settles into something surface level instead. In the interactions where you show a part of yourself that you know is genuine and real and rare, and watch it either go unrecognized or go recognized by someone who does not have the depth to do anything meaningful with the recognition. In the recurring experience of operating at a frequency that the right people have not quite been able to tune into, where you can feel that you are transmitting something specific and real, and the reception on the other end is just slightly off. The reception problem is not yours. The frequency you have been broadcasting has been the right frequency. The issue has been the channel, the specific energetic medium through which your presence has been transmitted into the world. And today, that channel changes completely. Today, Venus enters Leo. And what that means for the specific quality of what you radiate, how you are received, and who is about to come toward you in the next 48 hours is everything. Venus has been in Cancer. For the weeks of the retrograde and the passage through that sign, the planet of love and attraction has been operating in Cancer's specific mode, the mode of emotional depth, of nurturing, of the quiet, interior, vulnerability-forward quality of connection that Cancer brings to everything it touches. Venus in Cancer attracts through emotional availability, through the depth of feeling, through the specific warmth of someone who makes others feel genuinely held. That energy is beautiful. It produces real things, genuine emotional connections, depth, the quality of being truly seen in the tender places. But it is an interior mode, a receptive mode, a mode in which what you offer is felt most powerfully by people who are already close to you, already in your field, already in a position to receive the specific gift of Cancer's emotional depth. As an attracting frequency, as the signature you broadcast into the wider world, to the people who are not yet close, to the people in the periphery of your life or not yet in it at all, Cancer Venus is quiet, almost private, a lantern rather than a beacon. Today Venus moves into Leo, and the difference between Venus in Cancer and Venus in Leo is not a matter of degree, it is a matter of kind. Leo is the sign of radiance, of passion, of full visible presence. Leo does not attract through vulnerability or emotional availability. Leo attracts through the specific, unmistakable, this person is alive quality of someone who is fully in their power. Someone who takes up the space they are entitled to take up. Someone whose presence is felt before they speak and remembered after they leave. Someone who does not ask permission to be visible and does not apologize for the quality of attention they draw. Venus in Leo attracts through self-expression, through the unapologetic display of what makes someone genuinely magnetic, not as performance, not as strategy, but as the natural consequence of being fully, authentically, completely themselves in the specific way that Leo makes the fullest self-expression feel not just available but necessary. Venus in Leo does not whisper. It speaks. It does not suggest its worth. It radiates it. Your energetic signature just changed. The channel through which the world receives you has shifted from the interior warmth of Cancer to the full spectrum radiance of Leo. And the people in your orbit, including people you may not even know are paying attention, are about to feel that shift in a very specific way. Here is what I need you to understand about this shift, and it is the part that changes the entire relationship between you and what the next 48 hours are going to deliver. You do not need to do anything to activate it. The shift is happening whether you are aware of it or not. Venus entering Leo is not a resource you need to reach for. or a technique you need to apply. It is an automatic change in the energetic field you are broadcasting, a recalibration of the frequency others receive from you that occurs at the level of energy before it occurs at the level of behavior. What this means in practical terms is that the people in your life, the ones who already know you, the ones who have been on your periphery, the ones who have thought about you without acting on the thought, are going to experience you differently in the next 48 hours. Not because you have done anything differently, because the channel has changed. What they receive from your presence, from your words, from the way you carry yourself even in ordinary interactions, the quality of that transmission has upgraded. The Leo frequency that Venus is now broadcasting through is a frequency that is harder to dismiss, harder to overlook, harder to take at anything less than full value. The person who has been present in your life at a surface level and has not fully recognized the depth beneath the surface, they are going to feel something shift in how they experience you in the next 2 days. The person who has been on your periphery, who has been aware of you without having found a reason to move closer, they are going to find the reason materializing. The person who does not yet know you but who is positioned to enter your life as something significant, they are going to feel the pull of your field with a clarity they were not feeling before today. Venus in Leo changed your energetic signature today. The world is already adjusting to the new frequency, and in the next 48 hours, someone is going to respond to it in a way that surprises you. If this message is resonating with something you've been feeling, there is a link in the description to support this work. Only if it feels right. Every contribution keeps these messages reaching the people they're meant to find. The 48 hours following Venus's entry into Leo carry a specific promise, and I want to name it clearly without dressing it in the vague, hedge everything language that spiritual content sometimes uses to avoid the accountability of a specific claim. The claim I am making is this: in the next 48 hours, someone is going to come toward you in a way you were not fully anticipating. The form this takes depends on the specific landscape of your life and your relationships, but the energetic reality of it is consistent across all of those landscapes. The Venus-Leo frequency shift creates a specific response in the people who are within range of your energetic field. Some of them will respond consciously, reaching out, initiating, making a move that your new frequency made feel both desirable and possible. Some of them will respond without fully knowing why, finding themselves thinking about you more, finding a reason to be in contact that they did not manufacture, finding that something that was previously easy to put off now feels urgent. It may be someone who already matters to you, someone in your life whose response to your energy has always been there at some level, but has not found its full expression, who has been aware of you, but not quite aware enough to act on the awareness. Venus and Leo in your field will shift the internal calculation. The frequency you are now broadcasting is not one that allows comfortable, indefinite inaction. It produces a pull that is harder to sit with without doing something about it. It may be someone from your periphery, someone you know exists, who knows you exist, who has been in the orbit without moving toward the center. The Leo frequency pulls periphery into proximity. What was comfortable as a background awareness becomes uncomfortable as just a background awareness, because the signal is too strong now to be filed under later or maybe someday. It may be someone entirely unexpected. The Uranus and Gemini channels that have been opening throughout the recent extraordinary period create pathways for connections to arrive from directions you were not monitoring. And Venus in Leo, broadcasting through those channels, creates the specific combination of suddenly findable and compellingly magnetic that Uranian arrivals always carry. The person who arrives in the next 48 hours from an unexpected direction may do so with the specific quality of something that feels simultaneously new and completely inevitable. Whoever they are, expect them, not with the anxious, checking every few minutes quality of anticipation. With the relaxed, grounded, I know something good is coming quality of someone who understands what their energy is currently doing in the world. What Venus in Leo asks of you, What the conscious use of this energy requires is not more effort, not more reaching, not more performing, not the exhausting calculation of how to present yourself most attractively to the people you want to attract. Venus in Leo asks for the opposite. It asks for full presence in who you actually are. The specific work of Venus in Leo is the work of stopping the dimming. The reduction of yourself that has been a survival strategy in spaces that were not big enough for your full expression. The toning down of your presence that you learned was necessary to avoid making people uncomfortable with the full version of who you are. The careful management of your own magnetism to make it easier for people to be around you who were not equipped for the unmanaged version. That management is over now. Venus in Leo does not support it. The Leo frequency cannot be compressed into the smaller than it actually is version of yourself without leaking, without the fullness showing through the compression in ways that feel to you like internal pressure and to others like the specific, attractive quality of someone who is clearly holding something back that they should not be holding back. The conscious choice Venus in Leo is asking you to make today and in the next 48 hours is the choice to take up the space you are actually entitled to take up. To speak at the volume your thoughts deserve. To be as magnetic as you actually are without the habitual reduction that has been keeping you manageable for people who did not deserve to be managed to. To stop dimming yourself for spaces that were never big enough for you, and to recognize that the spaces that are big enough will not require the dimming. That in fact, the spaces that are right will be expanded rather than diminished by the full expression of who you are. The person who steps into Venus in Leo energy consciously becomes something that the right people cannot look away from. Not because they are performing, because they stopped apologizing for being exactly what they are. And that decision, made in the specific activation window of Leo's entry, creates a field that is genuinely, viscerally, unmistakably magnetic. The next 48 hours are the activation window, the first and most powerful days of Venus in Leo, when the energy is at its freshest, the frequency is at its strongest, and the response in your energetic field is most immediate. These are the days when the shift is felt most directly, and when what the shift produces arrives most quickly. Those who are present and bold and fully inhabiting their own expression in this window, who have made the choice to stop dimming and start radiating, receive what Venus in Leo sends toward them with their full capacity. The connection that comes will feel like the kind of connection that full-frequency people attract. The person who responds will be responding to the actual full-size, undimmed version of who you are. And the recognition they offer will be recognition of that actual version, which means it will feel from the inside like finally being seen, rather than like being shown a version of yourself that required management. Those who contract in this window, who stay in the dimmed, smaller-than-themselves mode, who treat the activation window as just another stretch of ordinary time, receive the Venus in Leo shift at a distance rather than in full contact with it. The connections that come will arrive at the contracted field rather than the expanded one, which means they will be connections calibrated to the smaller version. Which means they will be, again, not quite what was always possible. Don't contract. Not now. Not in the 48 hours when your full frequency is at its strongest and the people who can actually match it are feeling the pull. The support of this community keeps this mission alive. If you feel moved to contribute, the link is in the pinned comment. And if this message is for someone you know, send it to them. That is its own kind of love. Your energy just shifted. This is not a metaphor, and it is not encouragement. It is the literal, energetic, this is what Venus entering Leo actually does description of what is now true about the frequency you're broadcasting into the world. Someone is already feeling it, not in some distant future, right now. In the people who are in your field, in your orbit, in the channels of connection and communication that the recent extraordinary period has been opening. Your energy changed today, and the people within range are already responding to the change, even if the expression of that response has not yet arrived in your visible circumstances. In the next 48 hours, watch who comes toward you. Someone is going to reach out or show up or make themselves known in a way that would not have happened yesterday. Someone is going to see you with a clarity and a responsiveness that the Cancer frequency was not producing. Someone is going to feel the Leo signal and not be able to do nothing about it. You have been broadcasting the right things. The channel was just not Leo yet. Now it is. And Leo does not produce invisible signals or quiet transmissions or frequencies that require very precise conditions to be received. Leo produces the specific, unmistakable. This person is worth paying attention to signal that reaches across distance and periphery, an outdated hesitation, and lands with the force of something impossible to comfortably ignore. Venus in Leo just made you impossible to ignore. Watch what happens next.